Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
The opener of this four-game series between the Tigers and the Royals was all about offense. The last two games have been all about pitching. Matt Boyd is hoping to continue that for the Tigers here on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. The Tigers hoping to salvage a series split this weekend here at Kauffman Stadium against Kansas City, and only here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi, everyone. Alongside my partner, two-time World Series champion Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. Three different faces in Ron Gardenhire's lineup for you this afternoon. Nico Goodrum, Victor Reyes, and a rookie who makes his debut in Grayson Greiner. What's going through his mind right now?
Yeah, well, he's pretty excited. You know, it's good to get Nick and the Candyman some days off. They played all 32 games, but Grayson Greiner's coming in here up from AAA. It's an exciting time. His family's here. He's just got to remember, receiver first, and that means you're going to get a lot of hits, by the way. You've had 2 days to prepare. It's a joy to catch Matt Boyd. He caught him in spring, but this is quite a different pitcher, which we'll talk about in a second. A couple other things. He's got a rookie umpire behind the plate today. I'm not sure he thought about that.
Yeah.
And beyond getting past the starter, that bullpen is going to be changed a little bit. There's going to be some rest given down there today as well. So there's not much going on in Greiner's mind. I think he's fully relaxed.
I know he's looking forward to it. He has 12 to 14 family members here. No Candelario because of an injured thumb. No Castellanos because he's been under the weather, even though he was really good again yesterday. There is a constant in this lineup, though, and it is Victor Martinez, 5 for 7 in this series. Why is he so much better now than he was earlier this season when he was struggling?
Well, number one, I think he's healthy. And, you know, I was watching him last series against Tampa, and he looked like he was really getting discouraged to me. He hit 4 ground balls in the second game, right into the shift, saw 11 pitches. He looked tired to me. You can see he put his head right down, but he bounced back this series, used his wisdom. Now he's going against the shift. He got a knock right there. Then he feels a little better about that. You get a hit, you're more aggressive. He hits right into the teeth of the shift. Like you said, he's 5 for 7 in this. You know, you've seen a much more aggressive swings out of Victor Martinez, and he's certainly shown that he is healthy this year. And he's ready to do some damage today in the number 3 spot in the order because Nick and Miggy are out.
Collected an RBI last night, his 500th as a Tiger, just the 3rd Tiger switch hitter to ever do that, and the 1st since Tony Clark. They play behind Matthew Boyd today, and Boyd has been dynamic. He's been one of the biggest surprises in the American League, I think, early on. Why is he so much better now than he was at this time a year ago?
Well, we're going to talk about the surprise part about it, but
right.
you know, I think he's trending in the right direction. 4 of his 5 starts have been beauties, and he's been developing pitches. Last year, the curveball and the changeup. This year, the fastball and the slider. And the slider, you can see the grip right here. You're going to notice, and we'll show you in game, that it's getting more consistent, more consistent. He's learning how to add and subtract, so it breaks more on one, it's sharper, and it's more of a cutter on another. The fastball also learning how to throw it in all quadrants, both sides of the plate. It plays up when it's up in the zone like that. And he just is really realizing how to use it. There you can see the difference in the grips. It's not a lot, and then the release plays very good. Now just take a look at, I put together a little graph about what they're doing on averages on pitches. Last year, 2017, in the column on the left.
Wow.
Fastball, they're way off of the fastball. The curveball, it went up a little bit, but the slider, look at that. His slider was so inconsistent last year that he could not locate it. They were raking him, but this year so far it's been really, really good, and Matt Boyd's going to have his hands full, and Jacob Junis throwing for the Royals as well.
Yeah, Boyd working a lot quicker as well. He had his first career win against Kansas City, had his first May win ever last time out against Tampa, and now he squares off against a guy who has been unhittable for Tigers hitters this year. Why is Jacob Junis stymie Detroit's offense so well this season? Mickey York explains when he returns from the Call Sam Studios right after this on Fox Sports Detroit.
Kroger. Visit Kroger.com for great deals, digital coupons, and more. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Ram, built to serve. A beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon here at Kauffman Stadium as the Tigers and the Royals get set to wrap up their 4-game set. The Tigers looking for the split in this 4-game series. Matt Boyd on the mound looking for his second win of the year, and so far he has been money when he takes the ball. In 4 of his first 5 outings, he's gone at least 6 innings and given up just 1 earned run, and those are numbers that certainly make a manager happy.
Using all of his pitches, locates the ball very well and changes speeds. Has that funk, the deception that a lot of lefties have. So, like I said, the biggest thing for him is knowing when to add and subtract on hitters. I think he reads hitters well, and hopefully he'll continue that today.
Very scrappy, tenacious Royals team that you face here. Is there any different approach with your starters, especially as far as trying to keep the pitch count down? They try to work the count up, obviously. What can you do to counter that?
Well, you're going to pitch your way. You're going to go to your strengths, and these guys have always been that way. They've always fought, and it's like our ball club. They get after it pretty good. They've got some good hitters in there, so you have to be careful with them. You can't just pound the fastball down the middle, because I guarantee these guys can hit it. We've seen it enough. So you have to make good pitches on them and try to get them to go out of the zone. And that's kind of what makes Boyd tick. He can get people to chase out of the zone, and he's going to have to do that today. These guys got some good hitters.
And they've got a good pitcher on the mound. Jacob Junis will oppose Matt Boyd in the series finale. Tigers try to make it 2 straight. We've got first pitch with Matt Shepard and Kirk Gibson coming your way next on Fox Sports Detroit. Enjoy the game, everybody.
The Royals and the Tigers, and it's a salute to the Negro Leagues. The Royals players donning the throwback Kansas City Monarchs uniforms, the Tigers wearing their Classy Stars uniforms. Asked Ron Gardenhire about wearing that, about this type of day, and he says it's especially rewarding to be able to wear this uniform on this day in this city. Pretty neat and pretty cool, considering, as you heard in our Tigers Live pregame, the Negro League Hall of Fame is located here in Kansas City. Tigers batting order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Leonis Martin, 10th in the American League with a road batting average of .339. Last couple of games for Victor Martinez, 5 for 7 with a double and an RBI. And Grayson Greiner makes his major league debut today behind the plate, and they face this man, Jacob Junis.
He's had the Tigers numbers this year. Actually, in his first start ever, Tigers got on him, but 3-2 on the year. I think he's 30 strikeouts, 8 walks. Has the ability to throw his pitches to both sides of the plate. Works very, very quickly. I think the last time Boyd and Junis matched up was about a 2-hour and 17-minute game. So limited opportunities, and you're going to have to take advantage of those.
He's got 12 career wins in his first 26 games. Gibby, the second ever by a KC starter. Only Rich Gale had more. He had 14 wins in his first 26 starts. 1-1 to Martin.
And just watch how he starts out, where he's throwing the specific pitches as we go and evolve through the game. When nobody's on, it's one way. When you guys in scoring position, it's going to be another way.
Stroke down the left field line, but foul. Martin 2 for 4 last night with a walk and a double and a run scored. And you and I will talk throughout the broadcast if it's too early to talk about surprises, but this guy has been incredible at the top of the Tigers lineup.
He's certainly improved parts of 2 seasons with the Tigers.
This one fouled back.
By the
right
way,
next to us.
If a ball comes, are you going to get it?
Absolutely. Now, remember, a couple of years ago, you were on me all game and all season long for flinching while I was trying to do a live report at Comerica Park. I am going to pay closer attention here. Got him looking.
Let's take a look at the Royals starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. John Jay again in left field. Abraham Amonte in center. Jorge Soler in right. Moustakas and Cuthbert on the corners. Whit Merrifield at second. Alcides Escobar at short. Drew Butera giving Salvador Perez a day off behind the plate. However, Perez is the DH today, so we're still going to have to deal with him. Jacob Junis chucking.
Curveball high and tight. Almonte has yet to commit an error, or at least hasn't been charged with an error in center field for Kansas City. And Alcides Escobar making his 367th straight start at short. There's one line to foul territory, and it's gloved there by Cuthbert. And there's 2 down. That one kind of cued off the end of the bat.
Yep, right off the end. Tigers are one of the more aggressive teams. They've got quite a few hits on first pitch swings. They're very aggressive. They haven't been striking out as much as they have in the past. But you'd like to make a pitcher throw pitches. It pays off in dividends as you get down into the game later. But yet, if the guy's throwing strikes, you're going to find yourself down in the count all the time. So it appears so far Tigers coming out very aggressive.
Victor Martinez, who we talked about in our open, takes a first pitch strike. Started batting 103 in the previous 13 games, but has really caught fire. Yesterday, 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. This one whistled foul. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Martinez in an 0-2 hole, stays alive. Talked with Victor Martinez before the game and told him about his 500th RBI as a Tiger. The 3rd switch hitter in Tigers history to do that. Billy Rogel had 532. Tony Clark 514. That's impressive. 0-2 pitch just outside.
Yeah, let's take a look at the shift, Shep. They've made it. This guy here has been over here. Now you see they've moved him because V-Mart's hit a couple over that way, so Kansas City's made the adjustment.
Checked it. 2-2.
So right out of the gate, you see what Kansas City's done. They like to have 3 infielders on that right side of the field, but V-Mart's got 2 or 3 knocks to the left side. They've chosen to put another guy over there. A little interesting if there's a guy on first how they do it.
This one roped foul. Martinez has always done a good job of spraying the ball around. What does that graphic tell you right there, Gib?
Yeah, well, he's really spreading them evenly all around. I see V-Mart kind of going with the pitch more, which he has the ability to do, but even bigger than that, some of the balls that maybe middle third in, he's trying to force him to the left side, but the shift has not been. Now we'll see today it's going to be a little different.
Ground ball up the middle.
It's a knock. So this hit right here went right exactly where they had the guy playing, and this is how hitters can influence whether he gets shifted or not. They usually have a guy standing right there. V-Mart's got 2 or 3 the other way. Kansas City says, we're going to make an adjustment, and he gets a knock.
Is that an adjustment on Martinez, or is he just hitting it where it's pitched, like Ron Gardenhire told you and I before the game? He just thinks Martinez is hitting it where it's being pitched.
I think it's a little bit of both, Shep. I mean, I've seen him actually put his hands inside out to try and force it over there.
First time John Hicks has batted in the cleanup spot.
He's a first pitch swinger. That's why you see the secondary pitch come out early.
Couldn't hold up there. It's 1-1.
That's nasty. Late break. Very sharp with depth and horizontal direction.
Swung through it, and now he's behind in the count. Tigers as a team, the 3rd fewest strikeouts in the American League on offense. Junis, quick working, and it's even at 2.
And I threw something different there. Previous 2 were more horizontal, breaking away from Hicks. That one went straight down. I got to believe he's going to go back to those other snappy dragons. It's going to break off.
Now it's full.
It's going to be a slider. Going to try and get him to chase it. He may move it to break right on the corner. Here it is.
Payoff pitch. Swung through it. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jacob Junis. And now Matthew Boyd tries to counterpunch for Detroit. Why has he been so good lately? Kirk Gibson talks of that when we return to Kauffman Stadium after this. Press box to watch the Tigers and the Royals in the wrap-up of this 4-game series. Today's Tigers starting pitcher is Matthew Boyd, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, the record only 1-2, but he's thrown the ball much better than that. The ERA at 2.48. He had 1 stinker. Has not been walking anybody. That's a great strikeout to walks ratio. And we've talked a lot about the consistency with Matt Boyd. He's just discovering a new toy almost, like, and he's learning how to use it. And all the pitches, slider, the curveball, the change, and the fastball.
Whit Merrifield leads things off for the Royals. .331 batting average in 37 games against the Tigers, and this goes right underneath the glove of Nico Goodrum and digs for second and takes it sliding in.
Right out of the gate, that's welcome to the hot corner. Bullet. This is hot. Can't get the glove on it. Whit Merrifield comes out of the box, hustles that into a double.
Well, that's where the double is made, right? I mean, right out of the gate.
Yeah, he ran first step very hard.
Brings up Jorge Solar. And what a role Solar has been on. Merrifield's 7th double of the year. Kansas City as a team, they're 53rd. It slid under the glove of Nico Goodrum, making just his 2nd start at third base this season. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Soler. Popped it up, foul.
Well, Nico, you said only his 2nd start. He was in tight there. That ball got there quick.
Yeah,
it's
sure did.
almost just a reaction play. You hope it goes in. And let's face it, he hasn't played over there in a while, Shep. You can't feel totally comfortable. You kind of want to get into a rhythm, get your pre-pitch going. You got a rocket right at him. First hitter. But he's ready now.
Off speed inside. Soler was kept off the base paths for the first time in 20 games yesterday. It snapped his 10-game hitting streak.
Jansen Visconti, rookie umpire behind the plate. I believe this is maybe his 3rd game.
2-1 pitch from Boyd. Make it 2-2.
That's pretty much featuring off-speed pitches. Soler, I know they want to crowd him with the fastball, but he's probably guessing fastball there because he hasn't seen one yet. Boyd continues to go secondary. Maybe a little elevation here.
Good power for Soler. 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. Here's the Royals batting order presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You've seen Merrifield, you've seen Soler. Salvador Perez is the designated hitter and batting 4th. He's hit safely in 29 of 32 games. John Jay has a 6-game hitting streak coming in, and he'll play left field, batting in the middle of that order. Perez has reached base safely, not hit safely, but reached base safely in 29 of 32. Mike Moustakas.
There he goes.
There goes Merrifield on the run. Grinder's throw. And Merrifield has a stolen bag.
So really exploring the youngsters here. You got a new 3rd baseman, you got a new catcher, and Whit Merrifield, he's done this before to the Tigers. Aggressive that throw, if it's on the other side of the bag, probably would have him. Nico was way back and had to get there, and it's a new combination. So it was a very aggressive play by Merrifield, and it worked well for him.
Well, I asked Grayson Grinder if he expected Kansas City to run on him a little bit earlier this morning, and Grinder said, yeah, but I'll be ready. I mean, here's a guy who at AA a year ago threw out over 37% of the runners who tried to steal on him. 2-0 pitch from Boyd to Moustakas.
I think he's around 33% lifetime, which is average, a little above so far. But
what's the percentage you want if you're a catcher?
Well, I think, well, 100% is what you want, but I think the average, it varies from year to year. It's around 33%. So you want to be average or better.
Moustakas gets the green light on 3-0, pops it up to left. Jones gets behind it. Merrifield tags. The throw is offline, and Kansas City has drawn first blood.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. Pretty good throw there by Jacoby Jones in left field. Martin in center. Victor Reyes in right field. Nico Goodrum in 3rd. John Hicks at 1st. Iglesias and Machado again up the middle. Grayson Grinder, his major league debut. Behind the dish, Matt Boyd gave up a run right there and had to lock him down from this point on.
Salvador Perez. High and tight. Merrifield, by the way, now 13 for 14 in his career, stealing third. Love his all-around game.
Yeah, pretty good technique. It's good setup. Matt Boyd kind of got into a pattern right there, and he just timed him and took off, got a good jump, and had Griner put a throw right on the bag. He probably would have had him, but it doesn't happen very often, and he was safe.
Skied to center. Drifting over is Victor Reyes, and he'll grab it in right. And the Royals go down, but do score. Speed kills Whit Merrifield, a double, a stolen bag, and he scampers home on a sac fly.
Tigers hitting's got the Bernstein advantage. Highest line drive percentage this season versus starting pitchers. See the Tigers on top right there. They hack early and often. And some feel that's a reflection, you know, line drive. What's a hit? Ground ball, fly ball, line drive. You know, we were always taught ground balls, people picked them up and they have the shifts. Line drives is a huge percentage of hits. Fly balls, of course, you got to hit them in the gaps or hit them over the fence. So that's a good indication the Tigers have been doing a good job on the starting pitcher end attacking.
And like yesterday, Tigers hit a lot of line drives, a lot of hard hit balls, squared it up nicely. Didn't always get rewarded for it in the 3-2 win, but swung the bats really well yesterday. Jones hangs in there. It's 0-2. And Jordan Zimmerman was really strong yesterday.
Another one. That's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So that's very encouraging.
Francisco Liriano the night before, right?
Yeah, good pitching.
Yeah.
This whole series, really good starting pitching.
Jones caught looking. That's the third strikeout already for Jacob Junis.
Again, he started with the fastball. This is coming off the body. Jacoby thinks it's a fastball inside, and this has got a good late break on his pitches. And he locates them well. We get around to John Hicks. We'll take a look at that at bat. He really set that up nice. It's the kind of thing that gets hitters thinking later in the game. You know a lot of things up there. You see it shut, but sometimes it's just hard to trust it. Against a guy like this, you got to trust it.
And he does such a good job of getting ahead of the hitters. Nico Goodrum right away in an 0-2 hole. Put you on your heels. Junis could pitch for Detroit for sure. Gets it, gets the sign, and gets ready to throw.
That is a backup slider, which he does. I'm not sure whether he does it intentionally or not. Sometimes it just comes out and they overpronate.
Saw Nick Castellanos. It's unfortunate that he's under the weather because yesterday, 4th career game with 3 hits or 3 or more extra base hits, or I should say that took place against Kansas City in the middle of July. Yesterday he was dynamite again. Junis continues his dominance. Another strikeout.
Nasty slider. Look at this, is coming in right under the hands. Gonna swing right over it. Thinks that fastball inside. They throw that swing back fastball too. This looks like, look, it's straight down, right underneath the hands. Perfectly placed.
Dixon Machado stands in, 3 for 12 in the series after going 1 for 4 yesterday. High and away.
Yeah, again, Junis, you made reference to how quickly he throws it. If you're a hitter, sometimes he gets rolling. You need to step out and stop him the best you can.
This one punched to right, giving chase is Soler, and he makes the catch and foul ground. An inconvenient and, dare I say, easy 2nd inning for Jacob Junis. Chevrolet's most dependable players, and it's Detroit's starting pitching staff. What they've done over the last 6 games compared to the previous 6, very impressive numbers, and a lot of it because of this guy, Matthew Boyd, and how well he's pitched. Francisco Liriano we talked about. Jordan Zimmerman was dynamite over 5 innings, even though he was sick yesterday. There's a pop fly, shallow right field. Reyes coming in, Machado going out and makes the catch off the bat of Chesler Cuthbert. And there's one down. Here's the numbers again from those starting pitchers. Sure, the bullpen has been a little bit up and down, but look at the ERA and look at the opponent batting average against, Gibby.
Yeah, the Tiger pitchers, the previous 6 were on their road trip. They did not pitch well at all. They were 2 and 4 on that trip. They came back, won the series from Tampa, 2 out of 3, and they're trying to get a split here. But it starts with the starting pitching. And also they're trying to get their bullpen into good shape. And that has not happened yet as well. They're jockeying arms in and out.
John Jay slices it foul. It's 0-2. Matthew Boyd is 4.1 seconds quicker when he gets the ball than he was a year ago. How much do you think that helps him?
Well, it can help, but it can't help. That was a directive of Chris Bosio, the Tigers pitching coach. I've had others make pitchers do that or request that they do it. When I was a manager, there's nothing worse than a guy who's walking around the mound thinking about what do I want to do here. You know, it's kind of like if you get home after 2 a.m., nothing really good is going to happen, right, Shep? So, you know, you get the ball, get your thought.
Talking to somebody in my house again, haven't you?
And get rolling. So I think it can work. There are times, however, in the game that you have to take a little extra time and sort things out.
It's a Bosio edict, really. Jay fouls it again. And Jordan Zimmerman told you and I last week that Bosio called him. The first thing he said is, you're X amount of seconds slower than you were in D.C. We got to quicken the pace. And Jordan Zimmerman credits a lot of that he feels much more comfortable, gets his arm in the right position quicker as well. Boyd missed it there, and it's full.
Yeah, I think that many coaches, managers, pitching coaches, you want your players to do something that they're a little uncomfortable with, because that opens the door up for other things as well. And that's one of the things that Bosio uses in his approach.
Easy play for Jones. And there's 2 down. Tigers take on the Mariners this Saturday, May 12th at 4:10. The first 20,000 fans receive a free 1968 50th anniversary tote bag. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go to tigers.com. Some would argue the most important championship team in our city's lore because of what took place the year before. Either way, they are beloved, like Kirk Gibson and the '84 Tigers. 2 down. This is Abraham Almonte. And Almonte 1 for 4 in the series. That one hit was a homer off Blaine Hardy yesterday to snap an 0 for 12 slide. Gibby, it's just his second hit as a right-handed stick this year. 1-1. 2-seamer, about 89 miles per. Missed it low, and it's 2-1. Almonte batting .412 against the Tigers in 6 games. A couple of homers, 6 RBIs.
It's not as good from his right side, so let's hope that stays true.
Looked like it there, and it's 2-2. Got him. Matthew Boyd dealing his second strikeout, second one looking too. It remains 1-0 as Grayson Greiner makes his first major league at bat when we come back. Grayson Greiner making his major league debut, his first at bat, fouled it back, and it's 0-1. 17 games with Toledo, and he batted .259. had a homer and 7 RBIs. 12 to 14 family members are here, and he pounds one through the left side for a base hit. What a moment for Grayson Greiner. Keep that one, and it's Detroit's second hit of the day.
Yeah, you know, this is the old, they're going to throw the ball over there to the dugout, and then my good buddy George Brett, who's going to come on in an inning or so, that he'd like at least fake throwing it into the crowd right now. But that's a good little trinket there.
That is way cool.
Especially if he had 3,000 of them someday. Think anybody will get 3,000?
I'm sure they will. You got to be careful at first base, though, as Junis tests him over there. I asked Grayson Greiner, when you found out, what did you do? He said, I called my mom, my dad, Mark, his wife, Madison, and his son were at the game in Durham, because Toledo was in Durham when he found out. I said, was it emotional? And he said, we all cried. Victor Reyes, the number 9 hitter. Inside corner, and it's 0-1.
He's a big boy.
He's
Greiner
really
is
big,
over
yeah.
there. Standing next to Cuthbert. Dwarfs him. Not many real tall catchers anymore.
0-2 to Victor Reyes.
Here you go, 6'6", 220. 3rd round pick for Detroit in 2014. Right on schedule.
3-pitch at bat for Victor Reyes, and a 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Jacob Junis.
So let's take a look. Greiner right there. They tried to sneak it inside on him. Family's locked and loaded. They're right on it. This is easy. Knock your first time up, it's easy. Game's easy. I'm not sure that's true. That's why I broke many a helmet.
The bugs in the pit of their stomach when their son was at the plate, I can only imagine. Leonis Martin, who struck out looking in his first at bat. You talked about South Carolina. Of course, that's where Greiner went to school. He was a Gamecock and was an all-freshman team in the SEC. His first year, all-SEC second team when he left the Gamecocks. 1-0 pitch to Martin. Pounded foul. Martin has 13 multi-hit games, 4th most in the American League, but he's 1 for 7 in his career against Jacob Junis. So that's why Kirk Gibson looked at me kind of funny and said, why would you take him for pick the stick? I just had a feeling after batting .417 in the series going into the game. The 1-1 pitch. This one punched, and it will drop in front of left fielder John Jay. Trevor Thompson's with some very proud folks, knowing that Grayson Greiner is standing on second base. Trev?
Matt, I was pretty excited because I took Grayson in with my pick the stick pick, but
yes, you did.
His parents, nobody can top the excitement they must be feeling. Grayson gets his first big league hit in his first big league at bat. Karen, what's that mean to you guys as a family?
Oh my gosh, it's so incredible. I mean, you just can't imagine the work these guys put in, and I've always heard that if you hit it 3 out of 10 times, you're in the pros. So he got his first hit. It's amazing. Thank you.
And Mark, what about this weekend has made it special, just being a part of Grayson being called up to the bigs?
Just being here, just having our family here and our friends here, and just it's been surreal for the last 3 days, and it's a weekend we'll never forget.
When you look back on playing catch with him in the yard, what's this mean to a dad?
Everything. All the hard work, everything's paid off. His dream has come true, and it's his dream, and he belongs here.
Is this the biggest moment ever for a mom?
Well, I don't know. When you have babies, that's pretty big. that's a biggie.
When they grow up and do this, though, is what I'm saying.
And look, we've got a new grandbaby. This is Grayson's little boy, Hudson, and he's 2.5 months old, so that's pretty spectacular. You know, there's lots of great moments in life, but this is a biggie. It's right up there.
Matt, I'll give it back to you for now, but we'll talk to Madison, his wife, in just a couple of seconds.
Trevor, leave it to the mom to put things in life perspective, right? Here's the 0-2 pitch to Jose Iglesias, and he swings and misses. And Jacob Junis on point.
Yeah.
2 down.
Junis using the fastball and slider. Gets men on first and second with 1 out. 3 sliders. Nasty. You're going to have to try and make an adjustment, although I will say that looks like one that's hard to pick up.
Do you still have the first ball that you collected ever?
First home
Your
run,
first hit?
not
First home run.
first hit. It was in the same weekend.
Victor Martinez, who singled back in the first. Now 2 for 10 in his career against Jake Junis. Fly ball left center. Jay drifting, shielding the sun, and makes the catch. Tigers threaten but fail to score, and one of the best players of all time will join us on the other side. Grayson Greiner gets his first hit. His family delighted. So are the Tigers, and so are we for him.
You got a chair?
Franchise, and the best player this franchise has ever had is George Brett. A statue there. The Hall of Famer is with us in the booth. We appreciate it very much. You look fantastic.
I feel great, thank you.
You should feel great.
Yeah, I walked my dog this morning.
Boy, you still feeling
I
good?
walked my dog and worked out, steam and sauna, jumped in the pool, came
you
here,
did
had a
that?
BLT.
Wow.
And now
Yeah.
I'm watching the Royals win 1-0.
Okay.
What could be better?
I can't imagine,
Tigers up
especially in a day like
10-0.
this. Yeah, right.
Hey,
Get
hey,
it.
what?
Get it.
How you doing? All
He's
right?
hitting me a
He
little
always
bit.
does this.
Gibby's trying to protect me. I'm
Gibby
okay.
always claims that when we were teammates in Kansas City, every time I started a conversation, I always go like this to him.
I do that too.
You
So
did
he
it.
always hits me now whenever I see him.
It's because I try to do it before you get me.
Well, look, you hit everything when you were a player, so
Not
why
everything.
not
No,
hit people,
no,
you know?
it was tough. The game was hard.
Now let me ask you a question, because
Okay.
Detroit people are really interested and they don't know the important part that you played into getting Alan Trammell into the Hall of Fame. Can you tell the people just about how the process?
I was invited to go on this committee, and we met down in Orlando, Florida, right before the winter meetings, and there was like 7 Hall of Fame baseball players. They had a lot of general managers. They had ownership there. They had baseball historians there, and there was 10 guys on the list, and we discussed all 10 of them, and it is secret ballot. Everything is secret. You're not supposed to tell anybody who you voted for. You could vote up to 4 out of the 10, and to get be elected, you had to have, I think, 75 or 80%. And put it this way, I was very excited to see Alan Trammell and Jack Morris both get in the Hall of Fame.
They deserve it.
I think both of them deserved it. Yeah. And it's just amazing to me is that how both of these guys could go unappreciated by the voters. You know, I knew I was going to come up here, and I thought Gibby would ask that question. And so, you know, playing against Alan Trammell, probably, I bet I played against him 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the comment that I made, yeah, he's not as flashy a shortstop as Ozzie Smith was. He was a robot out there. I mean, he was very sound fundamentally, everything by the book. And the first baseman could literally play first base blindfolded because his arm was so accurate. and became quite the hitter. His offensive numbers are extraordinary for a shortstop. The length of his career was extraordinary, and I was just very, very happy to see him go in.
Something to be said about longevity, too. From a selfish standpoint, I think Lou Whitaker deserves more mention, and he hasn't received it either.
Well, there's a lot of guys out there that had great careers that, for some reason, get no respect. And it's just mind-boggling to me.
Will you be on the next committee, too? Or?
I don't know. It's randomly picked every year, or every 2 years they do this. Hopefully I am, because it was a good time.
So, go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to ask him what he likes most about your role here in Kansas City with the organization now.
I don't know what my role is. That's what's great about my job. People ask me all the time, what do you do for the Royals? I said, I don't know, but I sure like it.
You get a nice seat.
Yeah, I come out when I want. I sit with the GM. Sometimes he asks a question. Sometimes he doesn't. The one thing I really enjoy about it is I go to spring training every year. I put on a uniform. I used to throw a lot of batting practice, hit a lot of BP, or hit a lot of fungos, but I have a torn rotator and a torn labrum in my right shoulder. It doesn't bother me playing golf, so I'm not going to fix it.
How proud are you that you're the club champion? Where's that rank?
It's my greatest accomplishment to be the Mission Hills Country Club champion. I beat 2 guys that were +4 handicaps in match play.
What's your handicap?
I'm a 4. So but I played 3 of the best rounds of golf, or 4 of the best rounds of golf I've ever played in my life. But it's the only trophy I have ever won when I didn't have a teammate. How's that?
That's interesting.
I won a lot of football trophies and baseball trophies growing up, and I never won a golf trophy. So this is the first one I've ever won without relying on somebody else to pick me up when things were going bad.
If you're a 4 handicap, a lot of people out there right now saying I'm starting to hate him a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm almost as good as Al Kaline was in his prime. Al Kaline, one of the finest golfers that I ever seen. We used to play. We have a golf tournament every year in Cooperstown. And I had the privilege of playing with Al one time, and he was just right down the middle, everything right down the middle on the green. If he missed a green, he would chip it up a foot. And I know the people at, Oakland Hills in Detroit where he plays, they're all saying, yeah, you're right, George, this guy could play.
And one more thing, you have to have so much memorabilia from your career and after your career. Do you have a favorite thing that is significant that means the most to you?
Oh, I would say the Gold Glove I won in 1985, Gibby, because when I came up, I wasn't that good at defensive third baseman. I had good range, good hands, but my arm was real erratic, and I worked on my defense as hard as I worked on my offense, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden, instead of hoping I threw a good throw, I started making good throws, and it just built up confidence in me. And to win a Gold Glove, which is something that I never thought I would do, is probably the one individual award that I'm most proud of.
Who's the one guy who plays today's game that you would have loved to have played with because of his style? Not necessarily with his numbers, but his style. Plays the game where you'll feel the right way.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I really don't follow baseball as much as I did when I first retired. I think I kind of lost interest a little bit when all the guys I played against are no longer playing. I don't think there's one guy still playing that was playing in 1993. So it's a really kind of a tough question. I like our little second baseman, Whit.
Well, that's the reason I asked it.
Yeah,
he's on first base.
I like him because I've always been a fan of his coming up through the minor leagues. I got a chance to see him play in spring training, and for some reason, any team could have had him 2 years ago. He was eligible in the Rule 5 draft, and nobody wanted him. And I thought, man, this guy would be a perfect fit in the National League.
He's a winner, isn't he?
He can play any position on the field, play it very good, and he's a good hitter. Last year, God, he had an unbelievable year. And I remember this year in spring training, his first at-bat, he hit a base hit to right field, and he just jogged to first base. And I said, Whit, what's wrong with making that a double sometimes? Every time you make contact with the ball, you think double right outside the box. And sure enough, he started doing it in spring training. His first at-bat here, he hit a ball by the third baseman and slid into second base. A lot of guys wouldn't have done that.
Right.
And that's the type of guys, you and I always did. You and I learned from Hal McRae. Hal McRae learned from Pete Rose and Joe Morgan and those guys. And then Hal came over here. I watched Hal play. Gibby always played like that. And when Gibby and I were teammates, a lot of times we'd hit second and third and fourth. I mean, it was fun to follow him. It was fun to, watch him hit a single and stretch it into a double, or him being at first base and I hit a base hit to center field for him to go all the way to third. You know, now guys just check it in. You know, they make contact, they just jog to first, base hit to center field. They don't put pressure on the outfielders to make good plays. And we used to do it an awful lot, didn't we?
Yeah, and even better than that, then we talk about it after the game.
Yeah, exactly.
George had a mandatory meeting after the game.
In the sauna.
Well, you lived baseball. I mean, you talked about it.
We would sit in the locker room for an hour sometimes after the game, just discussing the game. And you had to, because we had 40,000 people here almost every night, and you had to wait for the crowd to leave, or you'd be in the parking lot by yourself. But it was a great time. I was just talking to the general manager and some of the guys in the general manager suite about Gibby. I said the first time I was playing third base and he was a rookie, he came up and he was on first, and somebody hit a double. Chet Lemon or Dave Bergman or somebody must have hit a double. And did Dave Bergman ever hit a double?
Yeah, he hit a double. He hit a couple home runs too.
Had to go over somebody's head, but he did it. Yeah.
And Gibby was rounding second, and he was going to score, and it sounded like a Clydesdale running by me. I mean, it was thunderous noise, and you could feel the ground shaking because of the way he played and the way he ran, and it was one of the things that I always tell about Kirk when somebody asked me about him. You know, just when he ran by you, you knew it.
That's because that's why he was a hell of a football player.
You used to dare me to bunt, and then one day you told me, "Go ahead and bunt. And you're not hitting it out of the ballpark."
That's right. I'd love it if you bunted, especially in Old Tiger Stadium.
That helped you, right? I mean, you were a really good football player too, but that was,
you know what? I was a
really
decent football player.
But it helped you in baseball, did it not? I mean, too many people are narrowing their kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think kids should play everything and anything. And you just go out there. If it's basketball season, play basketball. Football, play football. Baseball, play baseball. If you want to play soccer, play lacrosse. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I wanted to be a pro football player. I never got a college scholarship. So I said, well, you know, thank God I'm a pretty good baseball player. I never had a baseball scholarship. I never had a college baseball scholarship.
Really?
But I was drafted in the second round of the draft.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Can you read that right there?
I don't know. Gibson, nice interview. Hi to George. Who was from?
From JoJo.
Oh, really?
See, she's looking after you still.
Yeah.
Crick Robert, if he was here.
He was here?
If he was, he'd be up there. We used to live by each other, so George taught us lots of lessons.
Those are the stories, I'm telling you, we could listen to all day. See if Greiner has a chance to get this one. It's out of play. Really quick about your ballpark. Done a great job. The 46th year here at Kauffman Stadium, 2009. Poured $250 million into it. It's one of our favorite stops along the circuit. I think it's underrated. I just love it.
Yeah, I was really amazed when I came here after they did that renovation. All the things they did, you know, back where it says Miller Lite and all that, that used to just be a big old green grass lawn. The seats in underneath the fountains in right field, all the stuff in the outfield now, the Hall of Fame. I mean, I walked in here and I was just in awe of this place. And every time I come, it's just, to me, I think it's still one of the most beautiful ballparks. And it's old. It's 1973 was the first year, and it's got a lot of character, and I think it's very, very fan-friendly.
What was your first year, George?
1973 was my first year.
So when they opened this up?
I played a month and a half in 73. My first full year was 74.
So what's your biggest one that you hit out there? Wasn't it fun to, like, Tiger Stadium, hit it over the roof?
I got one over the roof.
How about in BP?
You both have.
I don't know about in BP, but I got one over the roof one day off Don Robinson,
there he goes.
I believe.
Merrifield steals third. It's the 14th time he's done it in 15 attempts in his career. Man, he's just a smart baseball player.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why not? Look at the alignment. You're three balls and 2 strikes. You got a rookie third baseman, and you got the shift on. And he just walked. Nobody was there to cover.
Look at this.
Yep. Same thing happens with Soler. Now, a lot of times that'll disturb a pitcher. It's 3-2. You get 2 down. They were going to be on the run anyway, but still, now a single should drive in 2. Moustakis waits on the payoff pitch.
Now we just need Moose to hit a ground ball to where the shortstop would normally be playing. Can you do that at will, Gibby?
Maybe later in my career, it took me a while, but
Yeah.
I would go the other way for sure if they shifted me.
Instead, he strokes it to center. Deep,
That's
Martine, and it is off the wall. 2 runs are home. Mike Moustakas hustles in with a 2-run double.
He's really cleaned up his swing, George.
Yeah, he has.
It's a big year for him. Surprise.
Last year was a huge year, and I'm very disappointed. I'm sure he was when no one picked him up after hitting 38 home runs here last year, and the Royals got him in the bargain basement. And you know, I don't know what's going to happen with him the rest of the year here, but he's really turned his career around the last 2 years.
Made a couple of
He
nice
was a little
plays last
hard-headed
week.
early in his career.
I bet.
And then he finally started listening to Dale Schwain, and this year Terry Bradshaw. He's put together 2 solid years in a row.
Salvador Perez gets jammed a little bit. Pop up. It is problems, and it drops for a single. Lost in the sun there for Jose Iglesias. And Kansas City flexes their muscle to make it now a 4-0 game.
You got to get around the other side of that ball, don't you think, George?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Because we can show that the sun is directly in the shortstop's eyes. Sometimes you even have to cheat out of position to make sure you've got an angle on that. So the sun is blowing right straight into his. So you got to try and get over here and look back across somehow, some way. And everything's just, the wheels kind of fell off with the Tigers.
Sal's a big man, doesn't run very good, but I guarantee you one thing: if Whit Merrifield hit that ball, he's standing on second base right now.
He's been discussed because he is the fun police lately because of some of the things that have taken place. You know, with Tim Anderson, for example, on the home runs. How would you guys have handled things like that?
I don't know what you're talking
Salvador
about.
Perez, when he kind of
yeah. He questioned his showmanship, I guess.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, Sal. No, there's another blue.
Machado's going to have a beat on this one, though. And thankfully for the Tigers, the inning is over. George Brett have over 3,000 hits. He's one of the greatest players of my generation, one of the greatest players of all time. There's 3,000 right there, right? And he has some new company this season. We'll talk about it more when we come back. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Thanks, George. We appreciate it very much.
Okay.
John Hicks just went yard, jumped on the first offering here in the 4th from Jacob Junis and pounded it over the left field wall. Tigers are on the board. It's 4-1.
That's a good statement after that inning got away from the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd. Hicks comes here, first pitch, gone.
You talked about it throughout the broadcast, the ability for Detroit to jump on those first pitches. If you like it, why not take it? And it's his 3rd homer of the season.
Tell you, since he's been playing, he's really taken advantage of his opportunity, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a good hitter. Jacoby Jones slices it foul. Here's the swing by Hicks.
Fastball, they tried to run in on him. He was on time, no doubter.
Jacoby Jones strikes out for the 2nd time today. And here's Nico Goodrum. The 7 strikeouts by Jacob Junis today, a season high for him. His career high is 8. Sure looks like he's going to get there, Gibby, the way he's throwing today. Goodrum pops it up. Shallow right center. Soler drifting in, makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
I mean, this is really rapid fire on their early swings. Nico has not played a ton. These guys, you don't feel really comfortable when you come off and play a game like this, but you got to try and nobody on. That's my belief that you want to see some pitches, because when you come up next to bat, you may have the bases loaded. So I would personally have wanted to see a pitch or 2 or 3 or 4, and we got to try and stay. Matt Boyd, that was a tough inning. We'll go through it. We get into the game a little more. We'll get some replays together for you. But you want Boyd to have some time to recover too, right?
Sure.
3 of the last 4 hitters attacked the first pitch. You have 2 outs.
2-0 pitch to Dixon Machado. Ground ball to 3rd. Moustakas with a nice play. And some damage done by the Tigers with John Hicks drilling it 385 feet. The Tigers trail by 3.
Bottom 4, Tigers trail 4-1. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. I'll tell you, that last inning was an interesting. We'll have to dissect that 2-out rally that was got away from us.
John Jay flew to left his first time up. One and one now. Jay has reached safely or recorded an RBI in 29 of the 31 games he's played for the Royals so far. Same spot, and it's now 1-2. Jay 4 for 12 of the series against Detroit. Hanging tough.
John Jay actually has been better off of left-handed pitchers this year. Almost 300 versus 265 against righties. Sometimes that doesn't make sense. But he hangs in there, obviously. Sometimes you get a left-handed pitcher, they're over on the left side of the mound.
The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Machado takes care of business, and there's one down. Let's go to the Call Sam Studios. Mickey York with an update. Mick. Yankees have won 14 of their last 15. Abraham flies to right. There's 2 quick outs here in the Royals half of the 4th.
This is what Matt Boyd needs, and he had 2 outs in the 3rd. Pick up 3 runs.
Alcides Escobar, the shortstop for the Royals, grounded to 3rd his first time up. He's reached base in 8 of the 9 games against the Tigers so far this season. First pitch is over for a strike. 80-mile-an-hour slider.
Talking about where Matt Boyd is, he's on the right side of the rubber. That's all the way over this way. Most lefties are over on the other side of the rubber. They do that so they can hit both sides of the plate. So if you're lefty on lefty, it's trickier if the left-handed pitcher is over on the first base side of the rubber.
Punch to left, in for a base hit. Not a surprise. Escobar, the 6th best hitter in the American League against left-handed pitchers. This summer, the World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. Number 9 hitter Drew Butera stands in.
The Royals have been very aggressive on Grayson Griner, so I would expect that this goes deep into the count, that we might see another attempt.
Punched foul. Escobar only has 2 stolen bases this year.
Yeah, but he'll get one. Merrifield did a good job. He has a knack of knowing when he can make it or when the guy's coming over, because I know he went first move.
Tougher off for lefty. Boyd delivers this one, tapped foul.
But many times a base stealer against a lefty, you'll guess and you'll go first move, meaning you're guessing he's not going to come over to first. But if he does, and well, as soon as he moves, you take off. If he does, you don't stop. You go down, you try to get in front of the base where the ball's going to come in and let it hit you in the back.
This one punch to second, and Machado with an easy grab. 4-1 Royals lead it. We're through 4 at Kauffman Stadium on Fox Sports Detroit.
Out a single. His wife Madison was here to see it along with their young son Hudson. Just tell me about those moments when Grayson was packing for the trip to KC, getting the news he was going to be a big leaguer. What was that like around the house?
Well, we were actually in Durham. We drove to watch him because we live in South Carolina, and it was just the most exciting thing ever. He came out of the clubhouse and he told us he was going up, and we just all cheered and smiled, and it was just amazing.
Tell me about watching him get his first big league hit here and how you felt about that moment.
I was so excited to come to the game, and of course I had nerves, but I knew he was going to do great. I mean, this has been his dream forever, and he was ready.
Matt, let's see what he does in at-bat number 2.
Wait. I would guess, Trev, the nerves have somewhat subsided for not only Grayson Greiner, but also his family. Knowing he got that first one out of the way, the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's going to get some sliders now. He hit a fastball his first at bat, so they're going to, Junis is going to say, hit Mr. Snappy.
This one grounded to third. The Stockus on the charge. Let's take a look at Big Boy's big play. It's Grayson Greiner's first career hit, and it took place in the third.
Nice fastball, trying to run it off the plate on him, and left it out. He was on time. The family's happy. It's been tested, though. The Royals aggressive on the base pass.
This one golf to left. On first pitch swinging from Victor Reyes. 2 quick outs here in the 5th for Jacob Junis. Junis, by the way, 6-3. With a 3.5 ERA and 14 starts following a Royals loss. Lost yesterday 3-2. This is one of the guys they like to use to bounce back from a setback. And he has performed admirably in that role.
Yeah, I'd like to use him any day. He's really throws the ball with consistency.
He was drafted in the 29th round. Leonis Martin 1 for 2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All you can ask for is a chance. You know, you're in college right now. Walk on. Many go through independent ball. Whatever it takes. If you have the passion to do it, it's a possibility. If you don't.
Well, we just got done talking with George Brett. He had no scholarship to college.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Fame player. It's crazy. Sky to center.
Your son, you got to make sure you run.
Almonte lost it. Good point by you, Gibby, and Martin jogging into second.
There's no clouds in the sky, and it is wicked. The glasses, we can go around and look at the glasses. They stopped using the flip downs. These are just normal glasses, and you can see right here that Almonte, he's looking. When you look into the sun and look for a baseball, it may be there for a second, then all of a sudden you wait for it to come out, and then you have a sense it's coming close, and you got to bail.
So he and Iglesias have lost balls in the sun, and neither one wears sunglasses. Would sunglasses have prevented that?
Does he have glasses on?
No, he does not.
Yeah, you got to have sunglasses on a sunny day. But you know, like I said, they used to have flip downs.
Yeah.
So on those balls, they go up, you flip your glasses down.
Be right underneath the brim of the cap.
Many on the field have regular glasses on that you cannot flip. So it's, you know, if you got sun protection in the sky, maybe it's harder to see it off the bat. Iglesias they're featuring heavy breaking balls to Iggy.
You see Moustakas and Merrifield, they both got those shades. Escobar as well.
At those you have to leave down the whole time. I could never hit in those. Or I could never.
Well, you could take them off when you're at the plate, I suppose.
Yeah, but then it's bright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your eyes, it takes time to adjust.
There's John Jay in left. He's looking stylish with his sunglasses. And there's Jorge Soler in right, doing the same.
Got your glasses shut?
I don't. And I'm not going to borrow yours either.
Why not? You got something against pink?
I don't look good in it. How's that?
Well, I'm not trying to look good. I'm just functioning. I got to read. Big opportunity right here for Tigers to get back in this game.
Martinez couldn't hold up.
Let's see, they like to throw that breaking ball and fastball inside to get you to think about it. He's got a swing back fastball that he can throw in off the plate that will swing back on the corner. So he tries to get the hitter thinking, and then he's got 2 or 3 options to get out of the inning.
Menards brings you the big money encounter. Jacob Junis has been incredible in his last 3 starts, especially that middle number, home runs allowed. Folks, Jacob Junis has allowed 14 runs. 11 of those runs have been due to a home run. He hasn't given up 11 homers. He's given up 9 on the year, but 11 of those 14 runs on the year have been a result of a home run involved. So maybe a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer there, or here or there. And think about if he could control that aspect of the game a little bit better and how good it would be. He is second in the American League in home runs allowed with 9. Only Josh Tomlin of Cleveland has allowed.
Yeah, but
more.
He's not walking guys in front of him, and
right.
He keeps his composure as well. That's the other thing. When things go wrong, can you keep your composure?
This one hammered foul. Really good against Boston on Tuesday night. Junis in his last start. 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 Ks. Actually held the Red Sox off the board in the first 5 1/3. And that's a really potent offensive team in Boston. New York right on their heels, though, huh, Gibby? It's going to be an interesting race throughout the year, I would guess.
Yeah, and it's back and forth. Astros were really hot. Now they come back a little bit. Yankees started out slow. Like they won, what, 14 to 15. You know, you can get an injury, all of a sudden your starting rotations, you lose 2 guys out of that.
Well, the thing that's most impressive about Boston is they're 14-5 against the East.
Yeah, they're in good shape in the division.
Yeah. 1-game lead on the Yankees coming in.
See, they've been talking about shortening the season, right?
Yeah. From 162 to 154.
I think that's part of being a world champion, is dealing with that.
I'm with you. Tapped foul. Detroit, by the way, 2.5 back of Cleveland coming into the game today.
But it's, you know, because of the weather, they think they want to shorten it, and it is a little uncomfortable. But you know, if you do the Iditarod, if they'll cancel it. And now this isn't the Iditarod, but it is a test of durability and dealing with things that make it tough.
Well, with baseball, it's not just the physical aspect. I think it's as much the mental aspect.
It is.
2-2 pitch to Martinez.
He's working in there. He's going to try and throw that slider underneath his hands.
Martinez, as we mentioned earlier, 3rd hardest player to strike out in the American League. 1 strikeout per 11.1 plate appearances. Martin at second. Iglesias at first. The 8th pitch of this battle between Junis and Martinez upcoming.
It's open over there. They only got 2 guys over there. He's already got 1 knock.
Count is full now to Victor Martinez. Remember, first time up, went back up the box, right back up the middle.
He went right through here where this guy normally stands. Again, he's not there this time.
Flied out to left his last time up.
See if he doesn't. See if he moves on this after he gets the sign out there. Escobar. See if he's cheating. He sees where he's thrown. I gotta believe he's gonna go that slider underneath. Yep.
Matching a career high in home strikeouts as Jacob Junis gets out of a tough jam right there. One of the better hitters in the Tigers lineup. Gibson and Trevor Thompson, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew here in Kansas City. Matt Boyd been pretty darn good through 4. That's his 71st pitch and his 45th strike. But some elements on the field of play has caused some issues today. Kansas City scoring 3 in the 3rd. That's been the difference. Detroit has left 5 men on. Sun has played some tricks. Whit Merrifield golfs one to left. And finally, Detroit retires the leadoff man for the Royals.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary, 3rd inning. It all started with 2 outs. Whit Merrifield gets on a ball. Maybe that should have been caught. Steals second. You see you've got 1st and 3rd. Tigers are in a shift. Puts them in an uncompromising situation. They move up to 2nd and 3rd. Moustakas with the double. Sal Perez and the Sun. Another scores. Moose scores, and they picked up 3. Took a 4-0 lead. The Tigers answered back with John Hicks in the top of the inning, and we stand at 4-1 here through 5 5.5 innings.
Soler calls time. Soler walked last time up and scored, as you saw there. He had that stolen base with the bag uncovered. Team high 20 walks. That's 6th most in the American League. Heavy cut there.
Well, you know, the whole thing starts with you got to play all your players. You got to give players a rest. Candy's played in all 32. Nick's played in all 32. And Nick's sick. And Candy's got the bad thumb. So he did the right thing. And then you put a guy over there who hasn't played a ton over there. And the ball's found him. And he's not comfortable. And he's had a tough time over there. And to compound things, Moustakas hits a double off the wall, basically. But you have to do that. And the players who don't normally play are only going to get better by you playing them. And
well, it's tough to play 162. It is. It's a challenge.
Yeah,
so you guys need a rest once in a while. Castellanos did have it as a goal, though. Soler fouls it back to.
But I'm saying a guy like Goodrum, okay, he hasn't played hardly at all. But he's got to give Gardy's got to give his players a rest. And now, the first play of the game, he's in tight, and he gets a bullet hit at him. It doesn't do a lot for your confidence, and you're trying to get in the rhythm of the game. It's been a tough game for him.
Soler fists one, shallow right field, and Reyes is going to have to play it on a hop.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 92. Low is 72. That's on the Ephus curveballs. You ever see one of those pitches?
I have not. Well, I've seen it obviously on TV.
But I mean, try to hit one. You see it, you wait, and then you just swing hard.
You think you're over swinging in a situation like that, sort of
Absolutely.
like I do when I see a reachable par 3? Well, there's one right back up the box. Iglesias is going to be able to turn 2 out of it. Nice play by Iglesias, the right positioning, and Matt Boyd is now through 5. 4-1 Royals here on Fox Sports Detroit. muscles earlier today in the fourth, his third homer of the year, Kirk Gibson.
Yeah, he got right on it. That was after the Royals had scored 3 in the bottom of the inning. Came up, jumped one early. 4-1, the score still stands. Tigers have left 5 on base, 5 hits. Royals 6 hits and left 2 on base. However, they've taken advantage of some shifting alignments and some inexperience, and they've got the 3 runs. Maybe shouldn't have had all those, but that's something that'll need to be corrected.
Hicks just a bump over 260 on the year. Good guy to have coming off your bench, but playing first base again today. Obviously Miguel Cabrera on the 10-day DL, and Hicks still getting used to playing first base. Today making his 6th start there. He's had 7 starts behind the dish, but when you grow up catching first base, especially with the footwork, right, Gibby? There's some adjustment. That one's in tight, 1 and 2.
Absolutely. I mean, everything's about footwork. You want to catch a ball. Even your pre-pitch, your post-pitch, and your reaction means everything when you're in the plate, you're hitting.
Hicks muscles one to right center. He's got a 2-hit day. That'll bring up Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby's struggled so far, featuring a lot of sliders to him.
So as a hitter, I mean, if you're Jacoby Jones, do you step into that box looking for a slider?
Well, I mean, if you think you can hit it by doing so, I mean, he's throwing him some pretty good sliders, but you've got to recognize it coming right at that front shoulder. You're supposed to practice on those, but you know, sometimes pitchers have your number. They have a certain delivery.
Yeah.
They hide the ball from you a certain way. I mean, he has every intention of trying to, you know, hit this ball for a base hit, keep the inning going. But Junis is pretty good. Pretty good. They've been swinging early. You see that because they don't want to get to the slider.
Jones 1 for 15 in the series. Takes a first pitch.
There it was.
In for a high strike.
See how they throw it right at his left shoulder, and it breaks off the body. That's that first pitch. Is they want that strike. So like the sliders he's going to get now are going to be running off the plate.
This one grounded to third with Stockus around the horn for a double play.
That hurts. Merrifield really turned this over quick. Stockus as well. Get it there quick. Jacoby got out of the box fairly quickly, but these guys turn it over. 2 down here as we're in the top of the 6th.
Moustakas is a little criticized for his lack of range at third base, but he's a pretty good defensive third baseman, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he's very good. He may not have the range, but whatever he hits, whatever's hit to him, he gets to.
Yeah. Goodrum grounds to first. Unassisted for Cuthbert. And the Tigers go quietly here in the 6th. tire guy. And by Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Matt Boyd threw 580 pitches, 50 for strikes. And Gibby, in a perfect world, you'd like your pitchers to throw about 14 pitches per inning. Correct me if I'm wrong there. He's had a high water mark of 28 in the third, but not necessarily all his doing. He's been pretty darn good. 14 pitches in the first, second, and fourth. 10 pitches in the last inning.
I always say 15, 14, 15, and I don't think it really matters, but the thing about it is you don't want to get into extended to 28. That takes something out of your tank. There's no question about it. And as you look to get deeper into games, those big leverage innings, you pay a price for them. So it's harder to, you know, pitchers in general, they get later in the game, they're going to start hanging the slider. They'll make more mistakes than they do earlier in the game. And those big innings also force you to do that.
Salvador Perez swings and misses. And Matthew Boyd has his third strikeout of the day.
Sunday, May 13th, the Tigers face the Mariners at 1:10 p.m. It's Pink Out the Park and Mother's Day. The first 10,000 fans receive a free Pink Out the Park hat courtesy of Kroger. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go to tigers.com.
Get your Mother's Day gift yet?
Can't tell. It's supposed to be a surprise. You just blew it for me. Don't you act like you forgot it?
I thought that was a given. Fisted to right. Reyes hustling in and making the grab near the foul line.
So all things considered, what went on in that third inning?
Yeah.
And even the first inning, when Merrifield got on in the first, I thought he kept his composure well. And we talked about a lot of the pitches that he's made and the usage and the adding and the subtracting. I thought the composure is much better than I've seen in the past. And hey, he's hanging in there. You know, Tigers are not out of this game. We've got to shut them down, and we got to nibble away, and hopefully we get a big opportunity.
Well, you and Mario talk a lot about high stress situations for pitchers, right? That was a high stress situation, and yet you're right. I thought Boyd handled things very well, especially when guys are taking second and third base off you, and you're forced to step off the mound. Did not have any type of balk attempt or anything like that. He handled himself pretty well.
Well, no place to throw it to. There's nobody at third to throw it to initially. But like I said, I don't see his demeanor change.
Got a hustle here from Machado, and he gets him by a step and a half. Nice sixth inning for Matthew Boyd. Tigers need some offense. Seven, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Tigers here in the top of the seventh, working against Jacob Judas, who through 6 has thrown only 79 pitches. And that's with a couple of innings, Gibby, of 20 pitches or more. Had 20 in the first, 20 in the fifth.
We had one of about 7, didn't
Yeah,
he?
8 right. There's one right back up the box. Dixon Machado collects his first hit of the day.
But Dixon Machado is really getting an opportunity to play. We've been working on his double plays. Now watch this. This hand right here should be closer to the glove. They're trying to speed him up a little bit. He works. He also gets a little bit of rotation away from first base. You can see that front shoulders close a little bit. And he's been working on it daily. There he's got the hand right by it. That's obviously quicker. If the hand is not next to the glove, you've got to bring the glove to the hand, and the guy's running very quickly, and he's going to be safe instead of out on the close plays. But base hit leads off the inning here and continues to improve on the defense.
How's his footwork at second base? Let's remember he was a shortstop, so the footwork is different when you're turning too.
Yeah, well, I think it's not like a shortstop, obviously. You can think of who are the quickest guys you can remember.
Well, your teammate Trammell, I thought
Tram
was
and Whitaker.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Okay, so you know everything can be cleaned up. It all is in your approach to get there before it happens. You don't want to catch the ball then adjust. You want to try and work your way into a position where when you catch it, you're already adjusted. Everything's where you need it to be. Now I've noticed, by the way, this Kansas City team has gone into second harder than any other team that we've played that I could think of. A lot of guys just run out of the baseline because of the new directive that you're not supposed to go after anybody at second. These guys, they're going right over the bag, just getting down there trying to initiate contact with the middle infield.
Well, I know you appreciate that, and our conversation with George Brett tells me that he appreciates it too, because of how you guys used to play.
Well, they want to go that way in the game. I guess we have to respect that. But at that time, it was part of the game and part that I enjoyed. Maybe the middle infielders didn't, but I did. And it was part of your game if you could disrupt action at second base, so a guy couldn't just turn a routine double play. Gave you incentive to have a good secondary lead, get down there and get up underneath him.
Grayson Griner 1 for 2 on the day. Off speed pitch inside. This is mom and dad. Trevor Thompson talked to both of them earlier in our telecast, as well as his wife. Dad never settles down. Watching your son, you know what it's like. Watching your kids play. Cam having a fine year at Lakeland right now. You know what it's like. There's one launched deep left. Does it have enough legs? No, 2 feet away from the wall. Made a bid, but hung up there just long enough to keep it in the ballpark. See what Dad thought about it. See if he was as excited as maybe Tiger fans.
Gosh dang it. You know, those flags are blown in just a little bit from left field. And he hit that higher than most, right?
Yeah, he did.
He's probably saying, man, I guess I got no pop anymore. But this is a big ballpark. Like I said, that wind just blowing in just slightly from left field. That was right into it.
Mom is much more calmer than Dad in that situation. And look at, they're telling his wife, you just missed it. She was doing a diaper change somewhere, I bet.
Yeah, she's taking care of the baby.
Yeah, have to. 1 down.
Is that how it was in your house? House,
absolutely.
You didn't change the diapers?
I changed the diapers, but during a game, I'm not going anywhere.
How about in the middle of the night?
My wife was great. Oh, yeah, I'll get up and do that. I got no problem.
In the middle of the night?
Oh, sure. I'm sure you're the same way. Reyes 0 for 2, a strikeout victim in his first time up. This one poked to left on the run. Jay. There's 2 down. Ram picked the stick update. I had Leonis Martin, who was walking to the batter's box for the 4th time today. Got a couple of points.
Ooh, Rod.
For Mario. Rod is struggling a little bit. Trevor's got one because of the Griner hit. And look at what Mickey York has done, because he took John Hicks, and John Hicks poked his 3rd homer of the year in the 4th. And he's also got a single. A good day for Mickey York.
So Griner's was going that way, right into it. Just enough.
Martina doubled last time up. It's the ball that Almonte couldn't find in the high blue sky and the sun.
So
he took advantage of it right out of the box.
Think those guys with that sun out there the way it is, they're looking forward to that ball being hit to them?
Well, you notice Almonte now has sunglasses on.
Also notice that he's got an angle, he's moved over, so you can move you can be, quote, out of position a little bit if that helps. You got to see it regardless where you are, right?
Sure.
Yeah, coaches, that really makes them crazy when you're out there. You don't have sunglasses when the sun's out. It's not easy to use them.
Punches one to left. John Jay's going to make all 3 outs in the inning. And Jacob Junis has limited the Tigers to a run through 7. Coming up, it's the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
When you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
4th and final game of this weekend series here in Kansas City between the Tigers and the Royals. The lone run, John Hicks' 3rd homer of the year for Detroit. Alongside Kurt Gibson, Trevor Thompson down on the field. I'm Matt Shepard, glad you're with us on a spectacular day here in Kansas City. 83 degrees when this game first started. Matt Boyd ready to take the hill for the bottom of the 7th. Your thoughts on how well he's done today?
I think he's done well, all things considered. He's thrown the ball very well. The 3rd inning just got away from us. It was unfortunate. We had some balls should have been caught. Kansas City alertly had done some scouting on some of the defensive alignments, and they put the pressure on us, and we didn't stand up to that. And then the big 2-out double by Moustakas, and there you have 3 runs. And he's still throwing the ball good. His pitch counts in shape, and you just got to hang in there and hope your offense can come back and get you evened up and get the win after that.
He's at 80 pitches. At what point does Ron Gardenhire start to stir his bullpen a little bit, do you think?
Well, I think that if Boyd wants to go 105 pitches, 10 pitches, if he really begs, he might be able to do it. I don't know that. That would be farther than he usually goes.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you got to go beg. You got to say, "Hey, don't take me out. Come on, let me. I got it. I got it."
It's Mickey Lolich in Game 7 of the '68 World Series. There's the number you were talking about. Yeah, Boyd, nice barehanded play. Hicks and Boyd almost had a little miscommunication there, and then the quick toss for 1 down.
This is very athletic play by Matt and pretty good by Hicks. Now these guys, they haven't played these positions a lot. Hicks is just getting over to first. Barehanded grab. He got over there quick. That's the thing. His last start, he was a little late. Good angle. See how he wasn't going directly towards the base? He was kind of going up the line. Gardy likes that. They practiced that last week while they were home. The 3-1 nubber. That adds a little bit to it. You know, just a regular ball hit is one thing, but when you get it like squibbed like that.
Let's clarify. The number doesn't have to be just on the ground, does it?
Not
where
in my
you
book.
hit the ball.
Not in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's something that's like off the end of the bat that has spin on it. That does. It's not a normal. It's not a normal batted ball. If somebody rolls over, it's got top spin. That's pretty easy to predict, right? Then you have the side spin. That's pretty easy to predict because you can kind of read it off the bat. Then you have the regular fly ball, which is going to be an outer or dinger. Then the number, it takes all that away. It's unreadable sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the baseline right now, there's big cleat marks in that, okay? So if you go over and take your foot and cover that up, it will look like nothing's there. But if the ball hits there, all that powder that you just put in there will come out and you get bad hops.
Yeah.
Okay.
It affects it just like on the green in golf, right?
Yeah. But if it's wet and you do it, it'll form one. So right now, this part of the game is infield can get tricky, and the way the ball comes off the bat adds to it. You have the lips out there where the grass meets the dirt. This little area right here, you can see, you know, sometimes the balls hit right on that.
Down the right field line, Reyes gives chase, but it's foul.
Or the mound could come off the mound. The mound is raised. Ball hits on the side of it. You know, if it hits on this side, it can go one way or the other, and that can put spin on it. We saw a ball hit the bag the other day. All the little nuances that it's not like you're taking fungos off the bat before the game.
Escobar swings and misses, and that's a rarity. He's the fourth hardest player to strike out.
Yeah, doesn't walk a lot, but doesn't strike out a lot. Just a good pitch right here. Look at that slider. 83, a little harder than he's been throwing it. Good depth on it.
Escobar actually has more than half the number of walks already this year that he had all of last year.
Yeah, I know he's walking more.
Here's Drew Butera, the number 9 hitter. 0 for 2, pops it foul. So you and I were talking with Ron Gardenhire before the game, and we asked him about Matt Boyd and why he's been so much better. He said he's using all his pitches, he's locating them. He knows when to add and subtract to hitters. What does he mean by that?
Well, add and subtract, like on the slider, for example. If you throw it a little harder, it's going to get on him harder, and if you still get good extension on it, it's more like a cutter, and it's going to come in and jam them. If you take a little bit off that same pitch coming out of the same way, it's going to break a little farther and may have a little more depth to it. Okay, so it's the same pitch coming out of the same spot, but you add a mile an hour or 2 mile an hour, or take off 2 mile an hour. It's a totally different pitch. If you can do that, and there's an example of it right there.
Another strikeout for Matthew Boyd. Good job by Grayson Grinder to hold on. Tigers and Matthew Boyd, season high in pitches. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Negro Leagues Hall of Fame, and we celebrate that on this Sunday afternoon. Detroit Stars. Matthew Boyd talking over with Ron Gardenhire saying, I know I've got 102 pitches in my back pocket. I know it ties the season high, but he's been really, really good so far today.
Well, maybe you'll give him another hitter or two.
Iglesias forced to back out of the way.
That's the second time he's sat down like that. You want to try and turn away from those curveballs up there if you can. Iggy's lucky he didn't get hit there. But it freezes you when it's coming at your ear like that.
Iglesias walked his last time up, now 1-1. Junis before the inning, 91 pitches, 63 for strikes. 18 of now 29 batters, first pitch strikes. One of those numbers that Kirk Gibson pays attention to. You, as a pitcher, you want to get ahead of the hitter. Here's the 2-1 offering. This one popped up right in front of us. Gibby leans over, but it's going to come up short.
Close.
Never understood as a player why people get so excited to get a ball.
Well, I mean, it is something.
It's a big deal to people.
Well, I mean, why not? They're on the field. There is a curiosity about them, isn't there? If you don't come to a lot of games, or you do come to a lot of games. I mean, how many people walk out of the stadium with the ball?
Right.
So when I was a kid, I wasn't a real autograph guy, but I did, I'd like to get a baseball. They're different than any other ball. Major League ball.
Fisted into center. That'll drop for a base hit, and Jose Iglesias is on for the second straight time.
Here's the 1-800 call Sam called the game. We're going to take a look yesterday at the shift for Victor Martinez. And okay, now you're going to see we got 3 guys on this side of the infield. 1, 2, 3. And he had not been hitting against it until this game. You see he takes it and goes the other way, as Junis has done. Now today, since he did that, we got 1, 2 on this side, 2 on this side. Victor gets the knock because they're not there in where they want to be. That's just smart hitting right there. We got some baseballs here. We'll be back. Tigers trail 4-1.
Tim Hill, the 28-year-old from Sylmar, California, the 32nd round choice of the Royals, is the new pitcher, and he gets Victor Martinez to ground to third on the very first pitch. Iglesias will take second. The bullpen for Kansas City continues to warm, and the reason Hill is in, a part of our Wallside Windows pitching change, it's his 14th appearance of the year. He's pitched 11 innings and given up 11 hits.
Had pitched a couple of days ago against the Tigers. Kind of a bridge guy for the Royals, and a great story. His father unfortunately died of, I think it was colon cancer, and he beat it himself. So Rex Hudler was just here. What has he got to be afraid of? He did his job right there. Tigers trail 4-1. We got another new pitcher. We'll be back. They offered him fastballs away, then they went the nasty chase slider away. They ended up getting him. There's the fastball away. Went down at strikes. Fourth inning, first pitch. He's still hunting that heater. Boom. Dinger. So, you know, it's interesting how when people strike out, what do you get out of it, Shep? You know, some guys take pitches and wait and look for the breaking ball, because he saw a lot of them, right? Yeah. Those were good chase breaking balls. Junis was very sharp on him. But he waited for that first pitch and it didn't break. He was hunting fastball. It was middle third and he jumped it out of the park.
Now the Wallside Windows pitching change. Kansas City brings in righty Brad Keller. Hicks quickly in an 0-2 hole. Keller acquired by the Royals in a trade with Cincinnati following the Rule 5 draft in the middle of December last year. Spent last year in Double-A Jacksonville.
Pitched an inning yesterday against the Tigers. Pretty firm right there. 97 on the four-seam fastball. Reach back. Previous have been around 93, 94. They get ahead in the count. That's what they do. It's harder to locate. Obviously, the harder you throw, or if you overthrow it. So when you get ahead in the count, you can let her go.
Just outside. Hicks a solo bomb in the fourth, a single in the sixth after striking out swinging in the first. This one into right center field for a base hit. Iglesias motoring home. Kansas City watches him score, and Detroit's cut it in half.
Third hit for Hicks.
Big day.
He just had that, after that first at bat, he's really stayed back. He hangs that breaking ball. And Hicks, he just right out into right center field. That's a great approach right there. I don't know if you saw Simo. He was very passionate about that approach, that two-strike approach. That's right what Simo preaches right there. That's
Simo's
a good
pretty
result.
passionate about a lot of things,
Yeah,
including hitting. And good hitting. Jacoby Jones, who has struggled today, 0 for 3. Although last time up, squared it up pretty well, but hit into a quick double play started by Mike Moustakas. Now 1 for 16 in the series. Curveball popped down the right field line. Soler makes the play, and there's 2 down. See the Tigers take on the Mariners this Saturday, May 12th at 4:10. Come early for on-field photo day. Your chance to take photos of your favorite Tigers players on the Comerica Park field. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER, or you can visit the website, tigers.com.
I'll bring up Nico Goodrum. He's had a tough game. It's a good pick-me-up right here. This is the great thing about the game. You know, you feel he should have made a play, or you got a bad hop. Players beat themselves up, but you always get a chance to be a hero. About a 2-run dinger right here. That'd make him feel good.
Or even yanking one into the corner. Let him use his speed a little bit. Hicks at first with 2 down. It's the 5th career 3-hit game for John Hicks. Just outside, 2-0. 2-9-0 for Detroit, 4-6-0 for Kansas City.
Should give him the green light here on 3-0?
No.
I would. Now, because you're looking straight forward, like a lot of times if you don't swing 3-0, 3-1, you're getting the slider.
All right, let me ask you, why would you, with all due respect, Nico Goodrum's a 189 hitter. He's 0 for 3 today. Why would you do that?
He can still hit it out of the park. Didn't he have 1 home run?
He does. Thought about pulling the trigger, instead held off. A good piece of an at-bat there for Nico Goodrum to draw the 4-pitch walk. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Tigers continue this 7-game road trip by going to the ballpark in Arlington. Another nice ballpark, by the way. Fulmer, Fires, and Lariano against Matt Moore, Mike Minor, and Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon pitched earlier this year against Justin Verlander in one of the more entertaining games I've seen all season.
They say he's still under 50. Can you believe that? Let's take a look at that last pitch, Shep. He had the 3-0 go. Up and away, he got the call.
Well, you want that as your pitcher and your catcher. You want that pitch.
You know what? That tells you that you got to look at the signs. That's a break for the Tigers. The young Jensen Visconti, umpire behind home plate. This is his 3rd game only, and so far the scouting report says that he has a tight zone.
Dixon Machado scalded one to center his last time up for his first hit of the day. 1 for 3. Crowd getting a little antsy. Brad Keller not getting that outside corner.
Now that pitch with Jeff Nelson behind the plate is a strike. We saw that the other night.
It's constant adjustments in this game, isn't it? Here's the 1-0 offering. That one's right over the heart of the plate.
Threw him a slider there. Can't get the fastball over, but the slider they felt confident in. It's got to be a line drive here, Dixon.
Love to find a gap here. 2-1. Goodrum with good speed at first.
Yeah, a gapper, he can score, and you can look, he's off pretty good right there. With Salvador Perez not catching, you can get off a little further as he's not going to snap throw down there.
Tap to third. An easy play from Moustakas. The Tigers have now left 8 through 8, and they trail 4-2 on Fox Sports Detroit.
Tiger killer, and it happens again today. Starts the game off with a bullet down past third base. Steals second, steals third. He just has an act and nowhere to go. On the button right here, he tags for third. Counts for another run. Same thing, top spin. Nico's unable to handle that. Merrifield again with another steal. Always putting the pressure on those Tiger pitchers, Tiger catchers, and he plays well against Detroit.
Sure does. 38 career games against the Tigers. He has scored 28 runs and is batting over .330. I mean, he's one of those guys, as we were talking with George Brett, one of the guys you love to have on your team. Buck Farmer's the new pitcher for the Tigers, making his 15th appearance. Buck Farmer has settled in, folks. Last 5 outings, an ERA of 1.8. And after giving up 5 runs in his first outing of the year, he's allowed 3 earned runs in his last 13 appearances. Curveball's in there for a strike. And I asked him before the game, what is it that has changed things around for you? You know what he told me? Confidence.
It is.
I mean, seeing things happen, seeing the results, and this is a results-oriented business like most, seeing those pay off for me, it has just given me a ton of confidence. I think I can go out there and throw strikes and get anybody out.
I had a conversation with Buck 3 years ago, and he admitted to me that he had trouble with his confidence to get out there. It's a process. You got to realize you got good stuff and you can compete. You can't stress about what you don't want to happen. You got to enjoy what can happen. And finally, this year he was ready to come, and he got beat up in that one game, and he's been money since then.
Former 5th-round pick blows away Merrifield.
So when I come back to this stadium, I played here for a year. I was part of 3 no-hitters. Look, I'm playing left field. Tell me, is this a hit or an error?
That's a hit.
Well, that was ruled an error.
Really?
Yeah. And Brett Saberhagen got the no-no. He did get the no-no. That was ruled an error. I think it ticked my glove.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Should
absolutely.
you have caught it?
Yeah. The other one was Fernando Valenzuela. And then Jack Morris, of course, in Chicago.
Right. Ron Kittle's final strikeout.
Yeah. So you think that was a hit? I
didn't see it hit your glove. I thought you took a bad route, but I didn't see it hit your glove.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so you're running straight into that wall, by the way. You're right. I should have had it. That's why it's in air.
It is padded. It is a padded wall. Here's a grounder to third, just wide of Nico Goodrum, and a base hit for Jorge Soler, who's been on 3 times now.
So whether it's a hit or whether it's an error, you say that's a hit. I said I thought it was an error. So what would this one here be? Okay, I got another play for you.
Well, there's a little difference there. First of all, I don't have a glove.
Hit or an error.
I was talking. It's probably an error. You're right. I saw it at the last moment. But see, here's what people forget. The guy over my back there, he's taking his glove and he's covering my face.
I just asked hit or error.
It's an error.
There's 2.
Double play ball. Machado, nice twist to Iglesias, takes his time, and Buck Farmer comes in and gets the job done. We head to the 9th. Tigers down by 2.
Hit or error?
Well, the sun's not in your eyes, not there anywhere. Look at him bounce off the wall. For me, I should have camped under this better. Don't close your eyes either, right? All right, Mick, thanks very much. And Grayson Greiner leads off the 9th here wearing number 17 and facing Kelvin Herrera. Makes his 15th appearance. His 6 saves are 5th most in the American League. Greiner can't check it, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Herrera's got good stuff, and he's probably never faced a pitcher quite like this.
Dad remains nervous. Mom is left.
Need a base
I
runner.
can't stand being next to you any longer. 1-2.
Nasty slider the previous pitch, 95-mile-an-hour four-seamer.
Herrera notched his 6th save Friday night. Retired the side in order in the 9th. 1-2 offering. Make it 2-2 now.
Just off the corner.
Herrera has not allowed a walk in his last 12 2/3 innings. The longest streak to start the season in his major league career. He's in danger of doing that now. The count is full.
You can see Greiner's made some good adjustments at the plate. He really has. Surprised he laid off of that pitch.
Remember, he hit one last time up, just missed a home run. There's one, scalded to short. No problem for Escobar, though. Made some good contact today. There's a lot to build upon for Grayson Greiner.
You're right. Just like we promised, it's time for the Miller Lite pull true moment. He hit the ball well, but not as good as the one he hit in the first at bat in major league career. A base knock joined many people to join that record of getting a base hit on your first major league at bat. Saved the ball. Mom and Dad are happy. The family's temporarily relieved.
We had mentioned his number 17. That's Denny McLain's old number. Victor Reyes squares to bunt, takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. Reyes has flown out to left twice, struck out swinging.
Who was the last player to wear 17?
Not sure.
Many times they take those numbers out of circulation.
Well, certain numbers they should.
Well, Tram and Jacks will be gone. 47 and 3.
Ground ball wide of first, and is it enough? It is for Victor Reyes to get on board. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB at Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Top of the order now to turn it over. Here's Leonis Martin.
Well, we got the tying run to the plate. That's what we needed to do. Tigers now have 10 hits, but only 2 runs. Leonis Martin has got the pop. He's guessed a strike on that. Done that many times. Hoping that he throws it over. 2 for 5 with the strikeout his career. Martin off of Herrera.
2 for 4 today, his 14th multi-hit game of the season. 4th in the American League. This one pounded to center, deep.
Get up!
Almonte back and making the catch 3 feet away from the wall.
Gee, I thought he had a chance at that, huh?
That's the 2nd one today.
Flags blown in.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. It's a long way out there. 410 to be out of a lot of ballparks. Lenny's disappointed.
We got a pinch hitter for Detroit. It's going to be Nick Castellanos.
Got to go. Got to do it. I'm sure when he hit it, when Lenny hit it, he thought it was a good, had a chance to get out of here. I mean, he laid into it pretty good. Now Monte goes back and really see it come down into that wind.
Castellanos had 3 extra base hits yesterday. 2 doubles and a triple. 4th career game with 3 or more extra base hits.
This is very hard to do, is come into the game like this when you're an everyday player. But it will go to right. The flags are blowing straight out to right field now, and Nixon hit a few that way.
Late on the first. Castellanos a little under the weather. Before the game, when you and I were talking with Ron Gardenhire, he said, look, I mean, right now he's back on a couch in a dark room sleeping. And he took the first bus over. He was on that 8:30 bus that came over to the ballpark.
Well, if he hits a home run and ties it up, he might have to play third base.
Has at least one hit in 12 of the last 14 games. The 0-1 pitch outside.
Because they have McCann. And they have Jammer. They have Candy.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to use Candelario because of the thumb injury.
So Nickett might have to go to third.
There's one to center. Almonte back pedals, shields the sun, and the game is over. Tigers had a few making a bid. Instead, they fall short. Another tight one. 4-2, Royals win it, and they win the weekend series. We'll send you now to the Coliseum Studios. Mickey York and Craig Monroe standing by for Tigers Live postgame.